When you visit the new Voice 3.0 user interface, you will arrive at our start or landing page. If this is your first visit with a particular PC or a particular internet browser, you will be asked to accept or decline the use of tracking and cookies. As we said before, we use cookies in Voice 3 Online in an anonymized fashion only, without collecting data that can be traced back to you as an individual. We merely store general information that helps us get an overall impression of how people actually use the corpus. I will accept the use of cookies now and would invite you to do the same. If you don't want to do this, you can also opt out and use Voice Online without cookies. Both settings can be changed later on in the front end as well. Once you have selected your preference for cookies, the content in the blue area of the landing page changes. It now gives you the option to explore Voice, either by typing in a search query or by simply clicking Browse to navigate into the user interface, which is what I will do right now. Clicking Browse takes you into the actual Voice 3.0 online interface that was programmed and designed by Hans-Christian Breuer and developed by the entire Voice Claria project team from spring 2020 to September 2021. When you enter the interface on a wide desktop screen, which we assume would be what most people do these days, its standard design is made up of three main areas. The area on the left-hand side contains the corpus tree that previous users of Voice may already be familiar with. The middle area contains the search field and will display the search results once a query has been entered. What is new and different from previous versions of Voice Online is that you now also have a third area that is visible to the right-hand side of the search column. When you access Voice Online on a particular day, this area to the right initially contains a welcome text that will disappear once you start navigating and actually using the corpus. So when you are using the corpus, the main purpose of the right-hand area will be to display entire transcripts or corpus information and metadata from headers. Since we don't ask users of Voice to register and create user accounts anymore because of the GDPR regulations, the initial welcome text is one way that allows us to communicate and speak to you as our users directly. The text might therefore be adapted from time to time to share information with you that we think might be relevant for you as users of Voice. If you look at the bottom of the page, you will see, similar to the landing page, several buttons and the corpus citation in the middle. If you move your mouse to the end of the citation and hover over the small I symbol for a second, an information pop-up will appear. This gives you the full recommended citation for Voice 3.0 Online, listing all the researchers that were involved in the creation of this corpus resource. The blue buttons on the right-hand side will take you to the site notice and our privacy policy. Here you also have the option to change your cookie settings and to get in touch with us directly. Just click on the feedback button and send us an email. The gray buttons on the left-hand side provide technical information and documentation about the versioning and the API of the user interface. If we now move up to the corpus tree, you see that the first order of organization of the 151 corpus texts in Voice is domains. ED stands for educational, LE for leisure, PB for professional business, and so on. When you hover over an abbreviation briefly with your mouse, you will see a tooltip that gives you the full term and a short definition of the domain in the corpus. You will also see below the corpus tree a button that allows you to view the Voice header, which will display a stylized version of the Voice TEI XML corpus header in the display area on the right-hand side. If you want to have a look at individual corpus texts, click on the small arrow symbol next to the domain abbreviation. You will then see a list of all the speech events included in a particular domain. Like the previous version of Voice Online, a small audio symbol indicates that a sound file is available for a particular speech event. If you click on an event ID, the text header that is information about this particular event will automatically appear in the right display area of the user interface. At the same time, the event ID of the chosen speech event will appear in a tab at the top of the display area. This allows you to open multiple speech events and to smoothly navigate between them in the display area. If you want to see a full transcript of a speech event, choose one of the styles at the top of the display area. By clicking on Voice, for instance, the entire transcript will appear in the right-hand column in Voice style. If the speech event you are viewing has an audio file, the audio player will automatically appear at the bottom of the display area. You might have also noticed that two buttons appear immediately above the first line of the transcript. These provide a link to voice markup and voice spelling conventions. If I choose POS style now, the buttons will change and offer links to the short POS tag set and the tagging and lemmatization manual instead. If I no longer want to view the corpus text that I've chosen, I can simply close the tabs that are currently open. Now let's return briefly to the corpus tree on the left. You might have noticed the abbreviation SPET or SPET at the top of the tree. If you activate SPET, the second layer of corpus structure, that is, speech event types that are available in a particular domain, will become visible in the corpus tree. The function of this SPET shifter is also explained in a tooltip that appears if you hover over the small I symbol. In general, in designing Voice 3.0 online, we have integrated tooltips, pop-ups, and links to more extensive PDF corpus documentation. Our goal has been to design a new interface that is easy and intuitive to navigate and provides short explanations and links to further information where this might be useful or necessary. As I've mentioned before, one of our design choices for the new frontend was to include two display areas in addition to the corpus tree, one for the search results and one for the transcripts. Previously, users had to alternate between viewing a search result and switching to the whole transcript. Now, it is possible to view these two things side by side. So if I type in a search example like very well, and I'm interested in, let's say, the third search result, I can simply click on the utterance ID of this result. This opens the corresponding corpus text in the right-hand area. If I'm interested in viewing more than one search result with more context, I can click on several utterance IDs in the list of search results. Multiple corpus texts will then open with multiple tabs in the right-hand display area. This gives users the option to view their search results and one or more corpus texts side by side and to swiftly switch and navigate between these. In case you're using Voice Online on a narrow screen or would like to adjust the standard display settings for other reasons, the two icons at the top right-hand corner next to corpus information give you the option to adjust the display settings. The left icon gives you the option to merge columns. Clicking on the same icon then again splits the columns and brings you back to the default view. Clicking on the right icon lets you change to a narrow view for a smaller screen. Once again, if you click the same icon again, this expands the view back to normal.